Now we're recording.
Oh, great. 25 minutes of our best content we've ever had.
We had some technical difficulties. I wasn't recording the last one.
A technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Which is Mike.
Well, anyway, this is episode 5. We got to try and repeat everything that we said.
Okay, I'll try to remember what we said before.
Here's the old intro. Oh.
God, I didn't think you could get better than this, but then you went and outdid yourself. Just when I thought.
All right. What do you think of this intro?
This is not a medical advice show. For medical advice, consult your own physician. Dr. Mike, Dr. Joe,
Beautiful.
To the microphones. Stat.
It's pretty good.
Welcome to Off Call.
I love this guy's voice.
The show where medicine gets
Where'd you
real,
find these?
raw,
Fiverr.
and ridiculously funny. Broadcasting
called
straight from the
Fiverr.
front lines of Los Angeles hospitals, these two are here to share the stories you won't find in textbooks. Whether you're a pre-med dreaming of the white coat, a resident surviving on caffeine,
He sounds
or
like
a
a
seasoned
professional.
doctor
He's been
needing a
doing this
good
for
laugh, Off Call is your prescription for a dose of irreverent, no-holds-barred humor. So scrub in and let's dive into the wild world of medicine, where the stories are true, the laughs are real, and nothing is off limits. This is Off Call. Now your hosts, Dr. Mike and Dr. Joe.
Excellent.
You liked
Excellent.
it? You don't think
Excellent.
it was cheesy?
Not cheesy, no. I mean, it's supposed to be a little bit cheesy. It's supposed to be
Yeah,
a
I
little bit
know.
ridiculous. We're a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I got it off Fiverr. He's done over 7,000 podcast intros.
Oh, man.
You could find him. I forgot his name, but
We're his first one.
yeah. No, he does all the big ones, and I got him. It was pretty cheap, and he did a outro
Uh-huh.
and a promo.
How much do I owe you?
You don't owe me anything. This is my little passion project. But yeah, it was awesome. So that's our new intro. Let us know what you guys think. So
Actually, definitely do let us know what we think.
yeah,
Let's do the bad comment again. That was
so people wanted episode 5. We're a little late. They're gonna come out when they come out. So
I mean, that's
these
not
episodes-
fair for people who are listening, though. If we have fans that are actually listening, which we don't.
Yeah, we have about 20 fans.
Oh,
One of them is my mom.
4 of them is, moms and families, I guarantee.
Yeah. And our friends, even my friends aren't listening.
No, my friends absolutely are not
Yeah,
listening.
I know. They're like, what are you doing?
No. Why would I want to listen to you?
Yeah, I know. But comments have been good. There's just one bad comment from,
It's just one?
I mean, it's like, like Instagram and all that.
Here are 4 comments.
Yeah, we have 4 comments. 3 of them are bad.
One of them was my mom.
Yeah. Ed_Oser. He's in his army outfit with an American flag in the back. Middle-aged white guy. The company should start
Someone I really love.
buying back podcast equipment. It's clearly not for everyone.
I appreciate the comments. I really love that.
That just hurts so deep down.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
just kidding.
It shouldn't. It's good. It's a good comment.
It is.
It's very creative. It's very witty.
Who hurt you? He was hurt in Afghanistan.
Ed, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah. It's like a brown guy shouldn't be on the mic. But we love that. We're going to turn him into a fan.
I mean, these are my heroes, American military. It's best when I hear it raw from them because they're not gonna hold back.
Yeah. This episode is for the troops.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do this one for the troops.
we are gonna let that down.
I know. They're going to be like, just
Don't do
us.
anything for us anymore.
Yeah.
Do less for us.
I was going
But Ed, if you're listening, I would love to have you on. I'm sure he's not ever going to listen to this.
He's
again.
not.
No.
He's not.
But we'd love to have you on. Reach out to Mike. You can stay at his house.
But we're going to do a comment of the week. So comment, and then we'll read your comment, no matter how funny or
Ridiculous.
or harsh they are.
Harsh is better.
Yeah. Be very harsh. As harsh
now
as you
we're
wanna
now
be.
we're just incentivizing harsh.
Yeah, everyone's
Now
gonna
we're
be
just
like, "Why does
trying to
everyone
get
hate
hurt.
us?"
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's just your opinion, man. All right.
All right, come on to the podcast, Ed. Would love to have you.
Yeah. So how was your week?
No hard feelings.
How was your work week?
Actually, this past week was a little bit busier than I expected to be, especially particularly in the end of summer. Summer is usually a little bit of a lighter load, but it was a more very sick people. A lot of strokes.
A lot of strokes.
Yeah.
Maybe due to the heat.
I don't know.
Heat stroke.
No, a real stroke.
A real stroke. Heat stroke is just you've been in the sun too long and you need to get inside.
Yeah. I mean, that happens a lot too, but no, these are actual strokes and stuff. Even young people. I've had a young girl in her 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she have some kind of like familial malformation or
No,
anything like
nothing like that. We thought maybe she's on OCPs or something. Maybe she's hypercoagulable, COVID. I don't know, but it didn't come back. So we have a hematologist exploring all the proteins, and we'll see what comes back.
All right. Well, we have some questions from emails. One question is...
Did you write these questions?
No, because I did a couple things. I go on Reddit and I ask people things.
Yeah.
And I try to get like material from Reddit.
Okay.
So one segment we're going to do later, or we could do today if you want, is people sending in their personal statements.
I would love to
then
read them.
We roast their personal statements.
Yeah.
I have a few. Some of them are good, some are bad. Like I feel bad roasting some of them because they're mostly like sob stories.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be tough to...
So I don't know how that segment's going to go.
The more sobby the story, the better the roast, though.
Yeah. So...
Haha, your mom died?
like, that's lame, man.
That's lame.
Let me pull it up. But the gist of the question is someone's starting at AUC and they're worried about seeing a dead body in the anatomy lab.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
And
might be a difficult field for you,
Yeah.
just generally.
Because they never seen a dead body before.
Uh-huh.
They want to know when it starts and everything and just the rundown of what it's like in anatomy lab.
I'll tell you this. First time I ever saw a dead body was in anatomy lab.
Same here.
And honestly, it was like that sort of nerves before I walked in, too. But it was also a lot of excitement. I'm like, well, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, let's see these dead
Let's see what's
bodies.
going on here.
So here's what it's like, in my opinion. Then Joe can and give his side of what it's like. So you get on the island, you do all this orientation, you get acclimated, and you do anatomy, one of your first classes.
Yeah.
And it's usually in the afternoon, right? Because you spend a couple hours in anatomy lab.
Yeah, I guess it depends, right?
Does it depend?
No, it doesn't. You're right. It's in the afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know. They might have changed it now. But yeah, you go to this like shed and there's like a candle and then they find this dead body on the shore and everyone gathers around and then you just tear this body apart. No, I'm just kidding.
After you do the chant
Yeah.
and the dance.
I think there is a prayer at the beginning or like a moment of silence.
They do a moment of silence, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some actually med schools do video of the person.
Yeah, that's lame. You need a wait. Oh, a video? Oh, I thought you
The
meant
person
like,
who passed will leave a video.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
no, I
'cause
thought
they
you
know
meant
their
a
body.
virtual anatomy lab.
No,
where
no, no,
it's
no,
like
no, no,
you're
no.
doing it on the computer. No, a video would be
like
cool.
I donated my body for medical science and this and that and the other thing. And I heard it's very emotional, but it helps kind of bring yourself back to this is a real person, because after how long it starts to become a lab.
I did not know that. That would be good. They kind of gave us a backstory of my patient. They say it's your first patient. So
That's right.
Your cadaver is your first patient. So you get an anatomy lab. It's this big
That's what they
room.
trust you with. That's what they trust you with.
Yeah, they're like,
they
you
want,
gotta- You got to start off on a dead body. So you get on, you're in this big room, and there's probably like 16 bodies, or like how many bodies do you 20?
It was probably 20 stations, yeah.
20 stations, and you're in small groups, and every group of like 5 or 6 gets a cadaver, and that's your first patient.
Yep.
They start them off face down. So once you get in there, all the bodies are face down.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
and they're in the prone position. And then you do your moment of silence. Be like, they give a speech, like this person gave their body to science, and you got to treat them with respect. And there's like no joking around or anything like that. So then, to get you used to it, you don't see their face first because they're face down, and you start dissect. You practice your techniques on the back,
which is a much easier dissection.
Yeah. It's so you kind of peel back the skin. You get used to how to peel back skin and like use the scalpel and all your tools. And then you explore all the back muscles and the spine and all that. And then you get pretty much used to it. And then it's, I'm going to anatomy lab. We're going to dissect this body today. We're doing, I don't know, we're going to look at the latissimus dorsi or something like
exactly
that.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're doing this all semester, every part of the body.
That's right. They give you muscles, organs, these things to find in that day. And basically you dissect them down and clean them up. And it's an interesting lab, I got to say. It's probably one of the more interesting things we do, especially for laymen, I think.
Yeah. And it really, when I think back on anatomy, like it was unparalleled. Like I think back to like, okay, where is this? Oh, I really dissected. I know how like the esophagus goes through the diaphragm or something like that.
That you remember from anatomy class?
I mean, I think back, I'm like, oh, I remember all the neck muscles and when we dissected the neck. They're like, today you need to find the recurrent laryngeal nerve. And then you kind of like, everything looks the same pretty much.
It definitely is a one that you fall back on when you're thinking about, you know, anatomy and physiology and, you know, what's close to what.
Yeah.
What can affect what. Anatomy is a very good, very important part of medicine.
Yeah. I mean, you got to know your anatomy. And it helps you with everything. Physical exam, just how all pathology, everything. So you think back to anatomy lab. So for this student, just going there, I'm like, I wouldn't worry about it. It's weird at first, but then you get used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And you kind of dissociate.
Yep.
My patient was a little old lady. She had cancer, Mets everywhere. So every time we'd dissect something,
you'd find a tumor.
Yeah. I remember looking at the lungs and there was just nodules all over the lungs. And I'm like, so now when I do a chest x-ray or a CT scan,
that's
and
how you think
they read a lung nodule, I'm like, oh, I know this like actually looks like it's like a little hard, like it looks like a callus on the lung parenchyma.
Interesting.
So yeah, nothing to worry about. Anatomy lab's chill.
I remember the tattoos on people too.
Yeah. I remember one guy had a tattoo on his butt. It was a propeller. I think he was in a war or something, or he was a pilot. And then
a propeller, like
a airplane propeller.
I see. Gotcha.
What other propeller?
Boats.
Oh, a boat propeller. Yeah. So yeah, nothing to worry. And then, do you remember? Were you there the day when someone dropped the body?
Oh my God! Yes, that was horrible.
Yeah.
So you're on a table. They put them on a metal table, and it's good 3.5 feet above the ground, and you have to be careful when you're moving. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's a horrible thing to do.
So you got to flip the body, and sometimes when you flip it, it's slippery. And then this group dropped their body, and like everyone got quiet.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what's gonna happen?
They kicked them all out. Every single one of them.
Yeah. But it was chill. Our anatomy professors were awesome. I forgot that one guy. He passed away.
From New Zealand.
Yeah. He was super chill.
God, I forgot his name. He was very good.
Yeah. I'm like, I remember one time I asked him, like, let's see where the ACL is in the knee. And then he just comes over, he like bends the knee and starts cutting. And then it was like,
he was incredible.
Here it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's the ACL.
Yeah, because at the same time you're dissecting, you have two professors that are dissecting at the same time, and their dissections are the most beautiful, clean dissections. So if you can't find what you're looking for, you absolutely have a standard to come back to.
Yeah.
Those tests were cool. Remember those tests where they would just put a number or a letter on a organ, nerve, artery, and you would have to just write it down and...
Yeah, so the exams in anatomy lab were the professors do a professional dissection, and then you have to
No, they would do it on the other bodies too. They would,
Oh yeah, your body. If you did a good
It
job,
was stations, so every single body had their one organ that they thought, hey, maybe this is the one that we can test. People should know.
yeah, if you did a good job, yours might be on the exam. Like, where is this nerve, or like the vagus nerve, or something like that.
I believe I do better today than even then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, definitely.
definitely. Yeah.
But I mean, those exams. So you walk around, everything's numbered, and then you try to fill out what that structure is, and that's how they tested you on anatomy.
You had to spell it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That spelling was my biggest thing. Are there medical words you still can't spell?
I can spell every single medical word, and it's because I didn't use like Dragon or any sort of dictation service throughout entire residency and most of fellowship. So instead of dictating, I would type it. So now I know how to spell every single, even the difficult ones, every single one.
I still have trouble with diarrhea. Is it 2 R? It's 2 R's.
Yeah.
And where is the H?
DIARRHEA.
The H just pops
Right
out
after the R's.
randomly. I think the H is before the R's. Diarrhea.
Yeah, DIARRHEA.
I guess that's right. I don't know. But anyway, I use dictation software all the time. Not so much anymore. Now I have smart phrases. So like,
Yeah. Now I use Dragon, which is just a device where you speak into it and it writes your note.
yeah, I don't really use that anymore because our hospital doesn't have good, like, they want you to use your phone, and I don't like dictating on the phone. Do you use your
Really?
phone?
No,
Or
I
do you
use
have the
the
microphone?
actual microphone.
Yeah. Because I'm in the doctor's lounge and they don't really have the.
So you type them out?
Yeah, but I have a lot of, like, I have the best dot phrases. Like, I really took time to make them. Like, so if someone comes in for an NSTEMI, I do like dot NSTEMI, and
same
it's like
thing every time.
heparin, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. Same thing every time.
But mine are system based, so it's a lot of like, I put maybe too much detail in my notes because nobody's reading it, but I definitely overly detail every single organ.
Oh,
Every
yeah?
single system, yeah. Yeah, we just do down the list. I think it's best for ICU, and we all keep that same structure. So, so when I come on, it's already structured that way.
Yeah. And then do you copy over notes from the day before?
So our new system doesn't allow us to do that, but I will like copy and paste. I'll go to the previous note. I'll copy it.
Really?
And I have to, like, go
Wait, do you use
my note.
Cerner?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm on Epic.
Epic is fantastic. Cerner you can copy forward too, but they took that away because physicians were abusing it and their notes were never changing day to day. So
Oh,
on Epic,
God.
you can actually see what they've changed. You can do that. Like,
I'm screwed if they take that away.
yeah, I mean, everybody hated it, but honestly, it didn't make too much of it. It just adds a few minutes to every note.
Yeah. Now I can knock out any note in under 10 minutes.
You should be able to. A one note, 10 minutes?
Or like an HMP.
An HMP, yeah, that makes sense.
How long does your HMP take?
Probably 10 minutes, you're right.
And for those that don't know, HMP stands for History and Physical.
Yeah.
And that's the note you write on admission.
Those are the most important notes.
Yeah.
Everything after that is just a update.
And then a progress note. How are your, you don't do DC, do you do DC summaries?
No
'Cause
DC summaries, no.
Oh, I'm doing DC summaries. But I write my progress notes in a way where the DC summary would be easy.
DC summary is very important.
Yeah. DC summary is discharge summary.
That's the story of your hospitalization. So from admission to discharge, you describe the hospitalization so that somebody doesn't have to read over every single note. They can get a gist of it just based off of the discharge summary.
Yeah.
I'm sure yours are fantastic.
No, mine are terrible.
I knew it.
I'm really good at treating patients, just writing about them after. And it's like, I do like if someone comes in for NSTEMI or something like that, it's pretty much the same hospital course.
Yeah.
And you know how it's going to go. They got cath. This stent was placed.
Right.
They recovered. Tropes downtrended. All that stuff.
I mean, honestly, some of my best mentors and attendings used to say, like, your notes don't matter. It's all about like how your care, your orders.
Yeah, it is for billing. It is mostly
Yeah,
for
that's
billing.
right, that's right.
It's mostly you're writing for the billing company, so
Right.
you get paid because you want to make everything sound complex and what you
Right.
did, and you get reimbursed for everything.
Correct. All physicians except for cosmetic or cash physicians work for insurance companies.
Yeah,
Like,
we're all slaves of the insurance companies.
That's right.
That's who pay
That's
us.
our system.
So I'm
It's
writing
not
notes
one
for
we
them.
like. We're not, it's not like we're defending insurance companies. It's just, this is the system here.
Yeah, it's messed up. But writing notes for other physicians, I think everyone's good enough now to know like their role and what they're doing without having to read your note to see what's going on. You kind of know when everyone's in sync with each other, all the consultants,
Right.
Me as the hospitalist and the consultants, like I consulted cardiology so this patient can get cath. They know like there's a reason for it and everything like that.
Do your subspecialists put orders, or do you have to read their notes and put the orders based on their recommendations?
They put orders.
That's better.
Oh, do you have to put in orders?
Well, some of them will actually just write the recommendations and they just expect the ether to do the rest.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That one drives me crazy because
Yeah.
it's like, if it's that important, you need to put that order in and then discuss it with me if you need to. If you're worried about me not wanting, aspirin and Brilinta on your post-STEMI patient, I mean,
Yeah.
but for the most part, they do put in their orders.
Yeah, mostly the resident, if I consult a resident group, like pain management or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
they'll give recommendations and I got to put them in. I'm
Yeah.
like, sometimes I'll be like, can you just place the order? And be like, yeah. And then some are like, no, we're not allowed to.
I know.
And
Why
I'm
is that the case? Why are they not allowed to do that?
like, now I got to put in like 50 different, like multimodal pain regime and everything.
Really?
Like that.
They won't put in that order?
I mean, if there's a ketamine drip or something like that, yeah, and they'll titrate it and they'll do all that. But like they'll do the severe pain, moderate pain, do this, and this, then Robaxin, and then
I think it's
lidocaine
important to
patches.
discuss it with you. That's for sure. But after that, they can put in the order.
Well, I'm consulting them to manage this patient's pain.
Yeah, right.
So just
Just
manage it.
do it, right?
It takes it off my plate.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you guys have supportive care medicine in your hospital?
No.
Oh, it's the best.
What is that?
So supportive care medicine, if you want a goals of care discussion, end of life.
Oh, that's
or-
palliative.
Yeah. So yeah, they're palliative.
Yeah,
and
we
then-
have a palliative team.
So they'll do all the discussions for you,
Right.
like end of life or like goals of care with the family if someone's dying and stuff like
Right.
that. And if they want to go like discharge home with hospice, they facilitate
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
right. That's what our palliative care team does that.
Oh, okay,
They-
good.
Yeah, we have a palliative care doctor and a couple of NPs that work for him who take care of those kind of discussions. But, especially in our community, I find that a lot of them still need that physician discussion in regards to goals of care and prognosis. And yeah, so it does take a bit of the load off, but not complete. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I find it easier for me to do it as well. So I won't necessarily put a palliative care consult in until I find that actually I need to have that separation from this family
Yeah.
and just be the ICU doctor. Some families are just a lot easier to, discuss those sort of things with, and I won't even consult them. I'll take care of it myself.
Yeah. I do the preliminary.
Right.
I do because you can bill for advanced care planning,
Yeah.
obviously, which is the goals of care discussion, full code, DNR, or partial code, or
Right.
anything like that. So I do always do that on admission at least one time, so I get reimbursed for that, and I think it's like $100 or something. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's not about the money, but it's important for the care.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to read a personal statement, or
Let's
do you
do
want
it.
me to read a personal
You
statement?
read the personal statement, and then are we going to go do the entire statement?
We could stop and then say, is this good or is this bad? I'm going to pick one at random that I haven't read before.
You got that many personal statements since?
Let me see how many I got. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 personal statements. They're like, yeah, roast us. Let's see. Let's give us input. So they all consented. So I went on Reddit.
We should do all 6.
And I think it was in like the residency group or it was the IMG group. I think most of these are IMGs, international medical graduates. So they didn't train in the US and they're trying to come here.
I would love to hear these.
Okay, let's just do the first person that sent me one. This is Kevin J. His email first is, thanks for any input I could get. I hope this helps you guys out. I know I got a good story, just don't know how to write the thing without sounding like I'm just regurgitating my resume and CV.
Uh-huh.
Please tell me if some of it sounds dumb, incomplete, or if I should omit or add some things.
Before we start, I got to use the restroom.
Really? Okay. Let me pause.
Pause. Sorry, man.
And we're back. Joe had to pee. He has the bladder of a little girl.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah. So we just finished reading this guy's email. Basically, the end of his email said, please send me a link to the podcast. I'm not a podcaster, so I don't even know where to go for episodes. Emoji.
One thing about personal statements is they don't matter as much as you think.
That's what all these people think. They have questionable scores and everything like that. They're like, I need my personal statement to shine.
Sometimes shining is not the best thing. Because typically when you shine, it's because it's bad.
Yeah.
I only remember the bad personal statements. The good ones, you had a great, fantastic personal statement.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's best to be literate.
Yeah. So
comprehensive, literate, and tell a quick story, something that somebody can read and not feel bored for that 5 minutes that they read it, and nothing that sticks out too much.
Yeah. I'm of a different philosophy. I think they should grab the reader because they're reading a million of these. So you want it to be interesting and get your point across quickly.
Yeah.
And just let it be in. I talked about biking in New York City. We talked about it before, but it should just be interesting and really show who you are. We all know your scores. You want to be in medicine. Everyone has their own reason to be in medicine. They had a sick family member. They were sick or something like that. Everyone has those stories.
Yeah, I highly recommend staying away from that story because that's like 80% of all personal statements. So I got into medicine because of my sick family member.
Yeah. So anything unique to you, anything will be good.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull up this guy's personal statement. All right, Kevin J., personal statement. A career.
Have you read this before?
No.
Okay,
I might have skimmed some of them, but I'm having anxiety right now. Like I'm in middle school. I have to read out loud in front of the class.
Take your time. Sound it out.
All right. A career in finance is what I've always wanted, or so I thought. I think that's a good hook because I'm going to medical school. Why were you in finance? I'm hooked in. I think that's good. Business finance was my undergraduate major, and a career in finance was what I wanted, or so I thought. So he kind of repeated himself. Yeah. Or maybe I just read the title. That was that was first, but it wasn't capitalized or anything. In 2016, after graduating with my Bachelor of Finance degree from Wayne State University in Detroit, I became a licensed financial advisor.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Like he had another life that wasn't medicine. He's coming into medicine later in life, which I think is attractive because people are like, this guy knows what he wants. He's been around. It's not just something his parents forced him to do. Right. I completed an internship at a financial firm and passed the very difficult Series 7 and Series 66 exams. Okay, so he's well-versed. He could pass other exams. Yeah. He's good. I was finally a licensed investment advisor / stockbroker. Registered with FINRA and the SEC. Hooray! Exclamation point.
I like it.
I was contracted with a financial firm, and I was very proud of the obstacles I overcome and the goals I accomplished. That's good. You overcame obstacles.
Just everything that he said is overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, this one's going to be hard to roast.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's cool. However, I realized it wasn't what I expected, and that I wasn't where I wanted to be. Okay, maybe that sentence can be written a little bit better. And in parentheses, he has cold calling 24/7. After receiving my bachelor's degree, I made the decision to return to WSU as a pre-med student to complete my prerequisite classes and pursue medical school.
Wow.
I think that's a good first paragraph. He did something else. He realized he didn't like it, and he's making a career change, and he knows what he wants to do.
Why medicine?
Let's see. That should be the next
Yeah, that should
question,
be the next thing.
or the
'Cause
next
you just
thing he
made it
answers.
from finance to medicine. You need to tell why that jump.
Yeah. He's going to be successful because most doctors don't know finance or anything
Yeah,
like that.
he's going to kill it.
Yeah. I have a true passion for wanting to help others, and while attending Wayne State Business School is when I discovered that about myself. I started an LLC that would donate to the proceeds to nonprofit organizations in Detroit. We also held our own volunteer efforts and food drives and interacted with volunteer organizations frequently.
Yeah, let's definitely roast this guy for sure.
Yeah, why? Fucking volunteering, man? That's so lame.
Donating to people that need.
Yeah. The response in the community and the love we received was an eye-opener for me. It made me feel so good to know that I was helping, even if it was in this minor way. The Detroit Eastern Market Corporation extended a booth to help us, in parentheses says, after I completed an internship with them. The dean of Wayne State Medical School, in addition to medical school student organizations, took notice and got involved as well.
Wow.
Okay. So I think in personal statements, they want to see where you made an impact. I follow this guy that helps kids get into medical school.
Right.
Said everyone's the same. Everyone does volunteering. Everyone does research.
Right.
They want to see where you made an impact
Who
somewhere.
takes initiative?
So impact is the number one thing people want to see. I also volunteered at Beaumont Hospital in Michigan. I was a member of Wayne State University official volunteer group Community Health Pipeline for 1 year. Okay, maybe you could say for a couple years. Because
Change that.
They really want, yeah. Do you feel like you have to be very truthful in your personal statement?
I don't think anyone is looking for somebody who's lying, that's for sure. And they can kind of pick it out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's a good question. I like that he's being truthful.
Okay.
He might have done it for a month and he's already exaggerated it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. While searching for new healthcare job opportunities to gain clinical experience, I found specialty care. Thankfully, they had a job opening in Michigan, and I was offered a position working in an OR setting. I had never worked in an OR before. After experiencing working in an OR setting and teamwork environment, I knew I was where I wanted to be. Every day I looked forward to going to work, knowing that a surgeon is going to heal someone with their hands, and I could be a part of that, even if it was just for moving a stool or positioning his foot pedal closer to him. Those 3 years and multiple certifications were great learning experience and foundation, and prepared me greatly. With the knowledge and experience I gained from working at specialty care, I apply it to my daily responsibilities that I have in medical school clinical rotations. All right, that's pretty good. I mean, he worked in the OR.
Way better than my personal.
Yeah. I fell in love with the job as an MIS employee. Your job intra-op as an MIS employee, your job intra-op is to plug in video tower components. I help the clinical staff as much as possible whenever they need an extra hand or to lift something heavy. I was always happy and eager to help. During my time at specialty care, I was cross-trained in a perfusion assistant capacity and was signed off as an autotransfusionist. For those of you that don't know, like when they're doing a CABG, a coronary bypass graft or something like that, they have to redirect all the blood to this machine so the patient can be alive while they're doing the surgery.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like ECMO, but it's like way more advanced.
This guy's...
I was signed off as an autotransfusionist as well as an intra-aortic balloon catheter technician. I have always been a hands-on type of person, so it came easy to me. It is very fulfilling knowing that I'm able to wash and recycle the patient's own blood with a tiny centrifuge machine and have it reinfuse intra-op, which is a great benefit to the patient's recovery. It decreases the need for traditional blood bank transfusion that often opens the door to transfusion complications and higher hospital costs of storing and maintaining donor blood. I have a unique skill set, and through medical school and my clinical rotations, I'm slowly gaining the immense knowledge it takes to be a physician. I wholeheartedly believe I have what it takes and am ready to take the responsibility to perform as a physician compassionately and effectively. I'm looking forward to starting my journey towards becoming a physician and the major responsibility that it comes with. This is the next step in my career path, and I believe I'm an excellent candidate for your residency program. And assure you, I will not disappoint. You will not be disappointed in the least. Thank you for your consideration.
Excellent.
That's a pretty good personal statement.
That's not pretty good. That's an excellent personal statement.
Yeah.
That's better than most I've read. Excellent.
Maybe one thing is you could tie in finance, or like what you learned in finance that will help you in medicine, like say being under pressure or something like that, or talking to people or communication. But overall,
I don't even think he needs to do that because it's already kind of implied.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got this previous occupation that he was successful in and he was pursuing, and it sounds like anything he pursues or puts his mind to, he's gonna. Is a he? Or you
Yeah,
keep on
it's a
saying
he.
Okay. We can already tell he's that type of person that's motivated and takes initiative. And man, how do you roast this?
yeah, no,
We're supposed to
you're going to
roast
get
this?
into med school. You're going to be a
couldn't have
doctor.
Yeah, you're gonna do well. You're gonna do well.
As long as the scores back it up, he's really good.
Yeah, honestly, I like him.
I like him. Do you want to hang out?
Yeah,
You want to be my financial advisor?
yeah. We need it.
Yeah, so overall good.
What would I change? Not much.
No, not much. Just a couple run-on sentences. Maybe define what I found specialty care. I don't really know what that is. Is that like an OR company or something like that? Or is an auto transfusionist? I don't know. But overall good. There was a good hook. I always want a good hook because when I'm reading these,
Yeah,
I don't want to be bored.
yeah. Mine was boring.
So he hooked me in, which is great. So were you involved in the match process in your program?
Yeah. So I read a lot of personal statements because I was chief resident, so I did a lot of those interviews. I did every single one of the interviews.
Chief
So
resident. What do you do?
I was also chief fellow of my fellowship. So I did a lot of interviews. I read a lot of personal statements, and then I think the best ones, and because you have to match your personal statement, because if he comes in and he's a completely different person,
Yeah.
then you just don't buy it. You
I know.
Don't buy it. You just don't buy it. But I think that was gripping, non-controversial, well, like the synopsis perfect, small, short, and I don't think there's anything I would change in that. If you want to change grammatical stuff, I mean, I don't think that's important
that's
for
easy.
people reading it. I think I got a pretty good gist of what's going on, and I got a pretty good idea of his background.
Yeah. So this guy's next step is just to rock the interviews, be a normal guy in your interview, charismatic, engaging, and you're a shoo-in. And
one thing is you can come off overly confident after like a personal statement like that. Like, I know everything. I've been involved in everything. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Be humble.
Humble, thank everybody.
Right.
Make sure you're excited to be there. You're not just phoning it in. Just
Correct. Listen more than you speak.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. People like
Yeah.
to hear their own voice and think that they have to do their spiel.
ask questions.
Yeah. And thoughtful questions that are
Thoughtful.
relevant to what we're talking about, rather than, hey, where do you see this residency going in the next 5 years?
Yeah, nothing like that.
No.
I mean, I kind of did that in a couple interviews and they wanted me. I turned the tables on them like I'm the client and why do they want me? And it kind of worked.
In the first couple interviews, I was robotic and I didn't like how I interviewed. And actually, my first interview is residency I went to, so it turned out I did okay. But I think towards the end, I realized that it's best to ask a question or be involved with the interviewer more than it is me. Let them talk.
Yeah.
Let
And
them
it could
sell
be
the program. And the salesman, right? You want them to sell to you. If you're selling a car, you want them to sell to you. You want them any product.
It also depends on the program. If you're going to a program that wants people and it's like a small community program, that's a good tactic. But if you're going to a university program and they have 1 million applications and you come off saying like, why do you want me? That might not be the best tactic.
Yeah.
So
When people think this person is easy to talk to, it's based off of the fact that they did most of the talking.
yeah.
Yeah. If most of the interview is covered by whoever you're interviewing, the interviewee, I think they'll find that you're an easier person to talk to.
Yeah. And they're just getting your vibe at this point at the interview. They want to know, like, can they work? Is this guy going to cause problems? Is this guy going to be annoying? Is all this stuff. So just be a lovely person.
Yeah.
This guy's a shoo-in. I would rank him high in my program.
Yeah. I like that personal statement.
So in my program,
Damn it.
I know we can't roast it.
Nothing to roast.
I know. In my program,
I thought we were more creative than that.
No, I mean it's a good statement. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Maybe the next ones.
Okay.
In my program, we were very involved in the rank process of who were coming in, even as residents, even if you're a second year or third year. What they did is all the people that they interviewed, they put your picture up on poster boards in this big room. Did you guys do this?
No.
So they had your board scores. They had a little bit of your personal statement. They had comments from the interviewers, what they were like. And then they gave us all stickers, like green stickers or red stickers. And we put it on their picture if you liked them, if you interacted with them, or if you knew them or anything like that. So obviously people that we knew, like we would green sticker them.
Right.
And people like, oh, I did clinical rotations with that guy and he's not a good guy.
That's exactly right. I was actually just going to say that. It's actually your interaction with your peers during medical school clinical works is very important. A lot of the reason I got my residency and the reason I got my fellowship is based off my relationship with my peers.
Yeah.
So my seniors that were in residency helped me get into my fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
And they really hey, this is a good candidate. And so those clinical years are super important, even if it's not a program that necessarily anybody previous or any of your senior classmen are in and can vouch for you for. It's actually important to have that sort of, relationship with your peers that you can build on.
Yeah.
And kind of get you into residency. I don't know what I'm saying, man.
It's okay. I didn't let one guy in because of you.
I know. I actually saw that guy recently.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what I mean.
yeah, I think he went to.
And the reason I got into fellowship was because of my seniors in residency.
Yeah.
Vouched for me. They're like, hey, he's a good guy. He's going to be, And I had a competitive residency. Critical care is one of the most difficult to get into from IM now. And so I needed that sort of support from them and say, hey, he's worth it.
Yeah. So this guy
Networking.
threw Joe under the bus one time in neurology rotation in med school. I think you guys were on the same neuro rotation, or we were all on the same neuro rotation or something like that.
He threw me under the bus? I don't remember that part, really.
Yeah. They were asking like, oh, where'd Joe go? And med students used to look out for each other. He's like, oh, he went home. He left early or something that. And to the attending.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, that's not cool, man.
No.
We got to look out for each other.
That's right.
So he came to the interview. I'm like, I know who this guy is. He probably had good scores. I think he was coming, and he knew people at my program. He's like, yeah, I know the ID doctor here.
I remember this guy because he was super confident about getting into your residency.
Yeah, I think we were his number one choice.
Yeah, well, you were his number one choice. He was almost guaranteed a spot in his head.
Yeah. So don't come in arrogant and don't throw my friend under the bus and come in cocky because I gave him a red sticker and he didn't get to my program. I think he ended up going to Bakersfield or something.
No, I don't think it was Bakersfield. It was somewhere else, but...
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we got rid of that guy. So you got to be nice to everyone throughout med school, residency, because you don't know who's going to be ranking you or who's going to ding you or not want you in their program just because of a certain isolated situation.
That's correct.
So you got to be cool.
I mean, just generally in life. I mean, who wants that kind of opposition all the time?
Yeah, this guy was
It's difficult. I mean, I see a lot of attendings that have really poor relationship with nursing staff, with their ancillary staff. I mean, that's the difficult way to be.
Yeah.
Very difficult day in, day out. I mean, it's not, first off, communication is blown immediately. Nobody's willing to call you and talk to you. And that just absolutely is the worst way you can have the most, I guess, in-depth patient care is your nursing staff, your ancillary staff. A lot of your information comes from them. And if you're not approachable, I mean, you're just, it's going to translate into your care.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the moral of the story. Be nice to everyone, be humble, and then you're going to have no problem getting into med school, no matter where you came from.
That's right. You know, we all got into this in the same way, and just like this guy's personal statement, you know, we all want to be involved in patient care and want to help people, but why does it stop there? I mean, that's your peers, that's your staff, that's your, you know, custodial services, that's everybody, right? Why does it stop at patient?
Yeah.
It doesn't stop at patient. It does not stop at patient. Everybody in that hospital is important to you and should be treated with respect.
Yeah. You want to be a cool guy.
Yeah, unless they're interfering with patient care or something like, you know.
Yeah, and there's a way to do everything, or a way to talk to someone if you do have a problem,
right,
or something like that.
Right.
All right. Well, that's we have the new outro.
You have an outro too?
Yeah. You want to hear it?
I want to hear it because we need something to save us from this one.
I think it's this one.
This has been Off Call. Wow. The show where medicine gets real, raw, and funny. Dr. Mike, a hospitalist with a knack for internal medicine, and Dr. Joe, the intensivist who's always in critical condition of cracking jokes. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, hit us up on Instagram at offcallpod. And for questions or comments, send an email to offcallpod@gmail.com. See you next time on Off Call. This is not a medical advice show. For medical advice, consult your own physician.
We should have them do 30 more minutes of that sort of thing.
Yeah, you should just do the whole podcast.
Yeah, do an hour of...
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you. That was episode 5. And we'll see you next time.